guys, welcome back to another episode of Remembering Forgotten Memories. If you clicked on this, you already know where it's going without context, and you're probably going, "Dear God, why would you tell the internet a thing like that?" I'm kind of questioning that myself, honestly. Not to mention my sister will probably kill me too that this story involves, but hi, if you're watching it, please don't kill me from another state, but anyway, so, this is a story about sibling rivalry, jealousy, anger, embarrassment, shame, and revenge. Let's just be honest, lots of revenge. And for as much as I'd like to keep this part as a punchline for the end of the story, I feel like I'm obligated to just tell you guys, straight off the bat, both of us were more than old enough to know better than this when this happened, because I was probably like 10 or 11, which puts my sister at about 6 or 7, so both of us were definitely old enough to know freaking better than to pull some crap like this. Pun intended. Anyway, so, I don't bullshit, you guys. One of my character flaws is I'm real bad at sharing. Like, really, really bad at sharing, except for when it comes to sharing about my life, in which case I'm an open book. But sharing stuff, I'm the worst. Like, to this day, I am the freaking worst at sharing. I just apparently didn't get that gene or something in being human. Especially when it comes to, well, I shouldn't say it still does, because I've gotten better with her, but as kids, especially concerning one of my sisters in particular, the one that's closer in age to me, not Kimmy, although still terrible with Kimmy too. It is one of her biggest complaints about me to this day. Even though I've tried to improve, but I'm still, yeah, I got a long way to go. Anyway, but with the other sister, I think it was more sibling rivalry just in being so close in age, and my whole thing of feeling like she stole my parents the day she was born, and suddenly I wasn't the center focus of the universe anymore, and I did not cope with that well, and kind of took it out on her for about the first 18 years or so of her life. Sorry, my bad, I regret it now, but at the time it felt very legit and like a very real threat. Didn't help matters much that I tended to get the bigger, badder presents at Christmas time and birthdays and things, and she got like the second best stuff. I mean, it wasn't shabby. I mean, this year in question, from my grandparents for Christmas, even though some of you would argue I was too old to be playing with Barbies, that I say, screw you, I still play with them, so not apologizing. Anyway, for Christmas that year, from my grandparents, I got this huge, like, ski lift Barbie playset that had, like, a working hot cocoa maker in it and everything, and I thought it was, like, the most badass thing I'd ever seen, and was so happy to have it, and my sister was so friggin' jealous, like, you do not even know. And because I knew she was jealous, I was the shithead who wouldn't share with her. Like, at all. Not even a little bit. I was like, no, the cocoa's mine. You can't have any. Doesn't it smell good? It's mine. Like, I was terrible. I taunted her so badly with it. But then this was compounded with the fact that I don't even remember for sure what she got for Christmas that year. But I basically took over that too, because that was the sort of little kid I was. I wasn't content with just flaunting what I had and not sharing. No, I had to take over my siblings' stuff too. Still kind of do that a little bit. Not as bad as I used to, and I don't flaunt things as much as I used to. But anyway, whatever it was she got that year, I took over on, like, day one. And she was just livid with me, and, at that age, I kind of relished in that fact. I cringe at it now, but at 10 or 11 years old, I kind of lived for that shit, because I was a bad person. I've tried to become a better person, but again, I'm not perfect. I still got a ways to go. But I was a terrible kid. So, basically, the more upset it made her, the more it just made me do it. So, she waited for a day that I wasn't home. She waited for me to, like, go to my grandparents' house for the day or something after school. And initially, I think she had just intended on just playing with my hot cocoa maker. And then something snapped in her brain that day, and she decided she was going to get revenge on me being the shittiest big sister on the planet. And she took a dump in my hot cocoa maker and left it there for me to find it. Thankfully, I found it before I went to go make any the next time I went to play with it, but since I didn't play with it on necessarily a daily basis, it probably sat there unnoticed for at least several days before I found it. Because I stored it, like, in the back of the closet, because this was, like, a big honkin' playset, so, I mean, I couldn't just leave it out in the room all the time. So she stashed it back where I stored it when it wasn't in use, with this turd in the hot cocoa maker, and just fucking waited silently, knowing it was only a matter of time, and probably, like, every passing day she was like, when is she going to find it? We were bad kids, but especially with each other. This was not the first revenge tactics either of us had taken on one another, but it was a pinnacle point. So the next time I pulled it out, and I found the dookie in it, I friggin' screamed bloody murder, naturally. And then she played dumb. She pretended like she didn't have a clue how this happened. I think she even tried to blame it on one of the cats. I think she tried to blame it on her— yeah, she learned that tactic from me. I think she tried to blame it on our brother. But I knew damn well there's only one person who would have done this. Especially given how much I had gloated about this being mine, and just rubbed her nose in it every step of the way, that I wouldn't share or let her touch it or even look at it. I knew damn well this was a revenge tactic. And rather than this being a point for personal growth, and, you know, maybe not being a terrible sibling, no. I wasn't there yet. I felt a need to get revenge for the revenge, so I stooped to her level. I faked being sick so I could be home when she wasn't, because she didn't really go much anywhere. So, alright. Faked sick. I found her tea set, her toy tea set, her tea party set, whatever. Ironically, it was also Barbie themed. I don't know why that matters, but it does. It, like, was color change when you poured stuff in it. Maybe that was what made my brain decide this was the thing to exact my revenge in. Decide, okay, she's gonna take a shit in my hot cocoa maker. I'm gonna take a piss in her teapot and just wait and see how long it takes her to find that. Because it'll be even worse, because she'll go to pick it up and she'll spill it on herself. This made perfect sense in my brain at the time. It seemed like perfectly sound logic that day. As I'm saying it out loud, I'm like, you are a horrible person, Jen. You are a horrible person. And yet I still laugh about it. Even though I feel bad about it. But, I'm not gonna lie, it's funny. We both laugh about this story now, even though we're both still kind of butthurt over it. So I peed in the teapot. And not only did I pee in the teapot, I think I intentionally hid it in her dollhouse, somewhere where she'd have to pick it up to move it from that spot to get it out of her way. So even if she didn't want to play with the teapot, she would probably want to play with her dollhouse, so she would definitely have to move the thing, and in moving the thing, would spill it on herself. Revenge exacted, victory is mine as far as I was concerned. Which would have been great if that was how it had played out. But it wasn't. My mom was doing laundry, and had to walk past the dollhouse to put away laundry, and banged into the dollhouse, which was in front of the dresser, or in front of the closet, I forget. I think it was in front of the closet. She, like, banged into it, and it was enough of a vibration to knock over the teapot with the pee in it, which spilled all over, And of course, that just smelled lovely by this point. She's just like, what the fuck? And of course, at this point, I'm playing dumb. She's like, I don't know, Nick is a freak. I mean, she took a shit in my hot cocoa maker. I mean, I think I said poop at that age, but she pooped in my hot cocoa maker, so maybe she's a big enough freak to pee in a teapot and hide it in a dollhouse. And played dumb. Except my mom was no dummy. She knew darn well that I wouldn't just sit there and let her exact revenge on me without exacting revenge back, and something like that had to be revenge for the other thing since it happened in the same week and everything. Yeah. Not only did we get our asses beat over this, the hot cocoa maker and the tea set were both confiscated and we never saw them again. So we both lose. Except that I lost bigger, because hers was just a tea set. It wasn't even the only one she had. I only had the one hot cocoa maker. This is why we're still, even though we laugh at the story, we are still butthurt to this day. She wasn't supposed to catch us at this. She wasn't supposed to confiscate the stuff. Never mind that they were literal biohazards at this point, and just... Thinking about it now, it's like, even if they hadn't have confiscated the hot cocoa maker, would I have ever realistically used that thing knowing there was a poop in it? Probably not. I probably never would have realistically touched it again, so it was probably a good thing just to get them out and gone and out of the way, even though it's sad that that was how they went out, but... yeah. So, given some of the antics that my nieces and nephews have gotten up to over the years, the freaking teapot story always somehow manages to get brought back up, and, well, at least they didn't pee in a teapot. It's just like, dude, she pooped in a hot cocoa maker. That was way worse than me peeing in a teapot. Oh, God, but yeah, neither one of us have lived this down, and I don't think there will ever come a day when this story is not brought back up. So, I guess, we can't really say that either of us won in our revenge on this one. We both lost, and we are both still losing on that loss to this day every time it gets brought up. So, I'm sure this video got demonetized, so hey, if you like what I do here on this channel and you'd like to help support it, you want to help support this terrible person right here, the donation link is, in the description. I mean, I did probably give you a cheap laugh, so, you know, even if you only, like, donate $1, anything is helpful. So anyways, that is it for this one. So, as usual, if you like this video, go ahead and give it a like, if nothing else. If you're not already and you'd like to be, click subscribe, leave comments down below. Did you guys ever do any terrible things to your siblings out of sibling rivalry, revenge, anything? Hell, it doesn't even have to be a sibling, just any interesting revenge stories that just epically failed and blew up in your face. Share them down below, since, I mean, that sounds pretty embarrassing, and I openly shared it with you guys. You know, least you could do is share a story back for me. Help a sister out. Anyway, my social media links are down below if you feel like following this terrible person right here. And again, donation links down below if you want to help. So, anyway guys, till next time, bye-bye.